Hi everyone, and welcome to SAMA, a program that invites people to talk about a topic that's from their area of expertise. Well, this week we've got me. I'm going to talk about our new MiraMate product. That's our MiraMate joint aid, this lovely little unit here. This product is designed specifically for sore joints. It can be used for other functions, but primarily it's designed for sore joints. Okay, well, there'll be a lot that I can talk about, which will be repeated again in a presentation that we have prepared for you. So without any further ado, I'll share my screen and we'll start this presentation. MiraMate Joint Aid. That's this lovely little product here. Okay, it's been designed for joints. It's a cold laser therapy device. Oh, I might just move my face so that we can see the words properly. Okay. Now, non-thermal photons are delivered to the body, and this introduces energy into your cells, into the mitochondria, and that helps your body heal itself. Now, it can stimulate cellular metabolism, which is the life functions of the cell, improve blood circulation, which means it gets more nutrients in and the toxins away, diminishes inflammation, relieves pain, and accelerates tissue repair. So that's a lovely little product. That photo on the right is me, by the way. Oops. Okay, what do you get? You get one host, funny name for a handheld unit, one power supply, one portable case. The case is actually very nice. It's this here. It's got a zip to keep everything safe and secure. It's like a travel case. Comes with a handle, easy to carry. It's like a toiletries bag, I guess. Comes with safety goggles. I was showcasing them earlier. There we go. Now I can't see what the last thing is, but I think it was a manual, which is somewhere here. The manual. Now the manual is written in simple language, easy to understand, and it starts off with the precautions, and then it gets straight into it with the overview and the instructions. So it's very easy to understand, and it's easy to drive this unit anyway. Okay, cold laser therapy. Now this unit employs the light in two different wavelengths. It's the near infrared, which is the red color that our eyes can see very easily. And it's also the infrared, which is not so easy to see. The near infrared has got more penetration. It's got better healing abilities, but we'll be getting into that a little bit shortly. Now, clinical trials have proven that this region of light spectrum has got the ability to penetrate skin and enter your soft tissues and target any problems that are a little bit lower down. Obviously, your skin does attenuate the signal, but we don't need to have enormous energy levels to invoke healing. Okay, now cold laser therapy uses a photochemical effect, which is similar to photosynthesis in plants, with plants and in humans. We both absorb sunlight, but plants have chlorophyll, which converts this to energy so that the plant can grow. It's very simplistic, so if there's any biologists that are listening and groaning right now, you've got my apologies. But the focus isn't on plants today, the focus is on humans and animals actually, and the effects that light has on human bodies. Now, for red or near-infrared light to have an effect on bodies, the photon, which is the light that you see, must be absorbed by a part of our body. Now, it's absorbed by a photon acceptor or chromophore. Now, this is analogous to the chlorophyll that are within plants. And it's been proposed that cytochrome C oxidase, or COX, is the primary acceptor or receptor for the red to near infrared wavelength for mammalian cells, and we are mammals. Gosh, this is getting technical. Now, our cells have got batteries, not AA batteries, but something a little bit more advanced. The mitochondria, which are these batteries, they convert food molecules and oxygen into energy by oxidative phosphorylation. Now, when the cells inside tissues are damaged in any way, the mitochondria will produce harmful nitric acid. This helps to attack any pathogens that may be within the cell as part of the healing process. But it binds with COX and it prevents oxygen from being absorbed by the cells. And the reduction in oxygen will increase inflammation and possibly cause cellular death. Now, this process is used by the body to target very serious conditions successfully. For cancer cells, apoptosis is the process of cancer cell death. But when it's a chronic condition where you don't want to have inflammation, it's when it's not desirable, and it can be the seed of more serious conditions. So cold laser therapy dissociates the nitric oxide from the COX, and it allows, therefore, more oxygen back into the cells. Now, these cells need oxygen for normal functioning, and so your cells restore to its normal state. In other words, the cold laser light, the photons which are being emitted by the cold lasers, can help humans and animals repair injured cells and recover from multiple health conditions. It's a lovely graphic there. Okay. The history of cold laser therapy. Now, cold laser therapy is nothing new. We've not invented anything. We haven't done anything special, but all it is a cold laser unit that's portable, battery powered, and convenient, easy to use. But it's actually been used for many years. Now, it was actually first used in 1903. And a Nobel Prize was awarded to Dr. Niels Finsen for his contribution to diseases using a laser device, especially lupus vulgaris. He was using a concentrated light radiation, which is a higher level of radiation to what we're using now. In 1916, Albert Einstein conceived the theory of light amplification through simulated emission of radiation. And that was the first proper real laser. Dr. Niels Finsen was using just a concentrated light as opposed to a concentrated coherent light, which is what a laser is. This is funny. The history of cold laser therapy, part 2. Professor Andre Mester first began using low power lasers in medicine. Now, he is recognized as the father of laser therapy through his use in medicinal purposes. He performed tests on mice to determine whether or not laser exposure caused cancer. Now, in the experiments, he shaved the hair off the backs of the mice, and then he subjected one group of mice to laser treatment using low power laser, and the second group to no treatment whatsoever. And the mice who had shaved backs, both had shaved. The mice who had the laser light treatment didn't have cancer, but very importantly, the hair grew back faster than the mice who had no laser treatment. That's a funny page because you look at the photo of Andre Mester, you think, well, why didn't he use it on himself? But bald is actually a sign of masculinity. So it's nothing to be sensitive about. And I'm going down that path at a great rate of knots as well. So, yeah. But I laugh because, he's obviously, and he could probably use some of his own treatment. Okay, better move on. So, okay, now the FDA has recognised cold laser therapy because it's so safe and because it is effective. Now, the FDA have 4 major classes of lasers, and they include 3 subclasses. Now, the higher the class, the more power the laser. Now, class 4 FDA-approved lasers are used for cutting stuff that's very high power, cutting tissue, coagulating, which means stopping bleeding, and vaporizing tissues. It's heavy-duty stuff. You wouldn't want this to start burning your tissue. And so it's a very different type of laser and a very different use. Now, classes 3A and 3B, they're non-surgical, they're painless and non-burning. They don't cut. Okay, now cutting to the chase, MiraMate uses the type of laser which is a cold laser, and they will not cause any cellular damage. Now, the first experimental FDA clearance of class 3B lasers, which are the lasers for MiraMate, occurred in 2002 after a successful study for carpal tunnel syndrome on workers at General Motors, which is an automotive plant. Carpal tunnel is when you get the sheathing of your nerves damaged, where they go through a little tunnel before they spread out tendons. They spread out and control your fingers. People who have carpal tunnel syndrome have problems closing their fingers. They get tingling sensation on their fingers. They lose their strength, all because of where these tendons pass through this thin tunnel. They used cold lasers, like this unit here, on the carpal tunnel, directly shining onto the carpal tunnel, and they had very successful results. So successful, in fact, that the FDA decided to approve for the use of carpal tunnel syndrome. And since then, FDA have approved cold lasers for the relief of muscle and joint pain, stiffness with arthritis. Gosh, isn't arthritis a crippling ailment? Well, cold laser can help you with that. Muscle spasms, we've talked about carpal tunnel syndrome, neck pain, lower back pain, and wound healing, general wound healing, with a wound that may normally take a week to recover. If you use a cold laser, just shine it onto that wound, the wound will heal faster. Now, cold laser is absolutely not new. It's kind of well-worn territory. These are just recent studies that have been conducted to evaluate the effectiveness of cold laser. And you can read through the different treatments, the head and neck cancer patients, acute, subacute, and chronic lower back pain. Back pain is an underrated condition. You think back pain, oh, it's just a bit of stiffness. But if you've got a very severe back pain, it's truly disabling. And I feel sorry for people that have it. Most people experience back pain of some form at some time in their lives. Well, MiraMate has got something that can directly help with back pain. You're probably aware of our other MiraMate products. We've got pulsed EMF products, our Mini Magic, which is our portable pulsed EMF, and our Magic, which is our unit which has a mat which you sleep on overnight. Both of these are also good for back pain. This is As I said, the very onset is primarily for joints. It's very much targeted type application, and it will have a stronger effect on a smaller area. So if you've got a back pain which isn't responding, then this could possibly help. And the studies have been taken. We can give links for each of these studies if you need them. Okay, tennis elbow. A general study of pain was performed using cold laser. Frozen shoulder, gosh, that's another problem area which is truly debilitating. Achilles tendonitis. If you have that, you can hardly walk. It's a pain that doesn't go away, and there's no real treatment bar surgery or just wait for it to disappear. Well, they've done studies and found that cold laser is a very effective method of reducing and possibly eliminating this condition. And we're back to neck pain again with a study of patients, and another general bone and joint assessment was performed by the World Health Organization for neck pain. Okay, now laser light therapy has been safely used for nearly 50 years to enhance tissue healing, relieve pain, inflammation, and swelling. We've talked about this before, but it is, oops, let's go back again. A small technical hitch. Now, LLLT, low-level laser therapy, has many advantages in that it is painless, inexpensive if LEDs are employed, and free from potential side effects. This is a direct quote from the article that's shown at the top of the page here, making it a no-brainer before surgery or potentially hazardous adventures. Isn't adventures a euphemism? Okay, moreover, the multiple demonstrations of LLLT effectiveness for preconditioning of muscles before exercise suggests that it will soon be taken up by the general public and may in fact have to be regulated by athletic authorities as a concern that could be called light doping. Now this was a quote from a journal. The link is at the very top of this page here if you want to look it up. A scientific journal which states black and white that laser light therapy of low intensity is extremely beneficial for both treatment and for preventative treatment before surgery, before adventures, hazardous adventures. Gosh, what a term. Okay. These are the things that MiraMate joint aid has been shown to be effective with. There's joint pain, knee pain, back pain, neck pain, sciatica, tendonitis, all extremely painful, bursitis, arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, plantar fasciitis, periarteritis of shoulder, that's frozen shoulder, herniated disc, cervical spondylosis, carpal tunnel syndrome, fibromyalgia. That's interesting because fibromyalgia is extremely hard to treat. Chronic joint bruising. I've got a Q&A come up. Calcaneal spur, tennis elbow, femoral head necrosis, joint disease of horses, dogs, and so on. And acupuncture, rehabilitation therapy. There's quite a few conditions. And there's a beep again. Now, how does MiraMate joint aid actually work? How does it help with joint issues? Well, first of all, it improves your blood circulation. Now, MiraMate joint aid can stimulate blood cells and improve the blood circulation. And in this way, red blood cells can supply sufficient oxygen and nutrition to the problem areas, improving the metabolism and relieving the symptoms. But what we don't say there is that it also helps remove the toxins that are being generated within your cell. Normal byproducts is a function of your life functions of your cell. Inflammation is reduced. It enhances the activity of phagocytes and boosts the immune system. It can diminish the inflammation of problem areas quite rapidly. It relieves pains by inhibiting the nerves which are transmitting this information of pain to your brain. It also increases the release of chemicals such as serotonin and endorphin. These two chemicals are hormones, which are the happy hormones. And they're very important to help overcome our sensation of pain without the use of drugs. Now, it actually physically accelerates tissue repair as well. It actually accelerates the growth of new blood vessels and granulation tissue and improves the protein synthesis. It allows more oxygen to be supplied to the damaged cells. And so it accelerates the production, depositing, and cross-linking of collagen fibers. Collagen fibers are like the framework where the proteins in the cells can then be formed. The features of our MiraMate joint aid. It's a very stylish, portable, and lightweight unit. It's easy to operate with a friendly user's guide. It's great for people and pets. It's suitable. In fact, these have been used a lot with horses, race horses. Light doping. It's legal at the moment. Do it while it's legal. It's great for people and pets. It's suitable for both professional and home use. So if you've got a home clinic, you can use it for other people, or you can just use it on yourself. Increases the efficiencies of traditional physiotherapy and conventional treatments. So you don't have to stop your current treatment. You can supplement what you're already doing with our joint aid unit. The internal rechargeable battery can be used up to 4 hours continuously, and you can even use it while it's charging. It's naturally healing, non-invasive, and does not have any side effects. Actually, it does have side effects. I like saying this too, because the word side effects has nowadays got negative connotations because doctors use the term side effects as a euphemism for nasty effects. But the side effects are feeling better able to face the day, having a more positive outlook to life because you haven't got the burden of pain to carry with you. It's hard to smile if you're aching somewhere. And so that's a side effect. It gets rid of these sorts of pains and gives you a better quality of life. The handheld laser is wireless and self-contained. Well, you need to have your hands connected, but that's the only thing you need to have. Each laser has got an individual stabilizer. So even if it's shaking slightly, the lasers are stable. The lasers that are used are long life lasers. They're quite high quality units. There are 2 working modes, 3 levels of power intensity, and adjustable time settings for various treatment requirements. I'll just test another function. Yes, it's also a back scrubber or a back itcher. Okay, function settings and key operations. That explains the controls of MiraMate. To turn it on, you long press the center button and it turns on. At this point in time, you can press the mode button to select the mode whether it's flashing or on continuously. You press the time button, which is the other side. I don't know if you can see clearly, this one here. And you just select how long you want it to run for. You can adjust how strong you want the laser by clicking the top button or the bottom buttons. And then you click the center button to turn it on. And at the moment it's flashing. I won't shine it directly into the camera, but you can see it's flashing now. I haven't got my beautiful glasses on. You can just click it again and the center button to stop it again. Now that's quite complicated, but it's got a good thing, you know. If you set it up and you turn it off, it's off at the moment. If you turn it on again and you just turn it on again, it starts using the same settings as last time. So if you just set it up once to how you want it and then turn it on thereafter and not have to adjust it, it's got a memory function. So that's nice and simple. And it shows different parts of the display, what means what, shows you power indication and what sort of mode it's on, how much time is left, that sort of thing. Drilling down on detail, the two different modes, pulsed and continuous. Now, why are there two different modes? Well, they've got two different functions. Now, for pain relief, you need to get as much power into the tissue as possible to saturate the area with photons and trigger an inhibitory response. And so for that type of use, we use continuous mode. Now, if you've got a damaged tissue area and you want to heal it or reduce the inflammation, this where pulse mode is more appropriate. And so we provide the two options for you. Then you can adjust the duration of the treatment. After this time, the unit will turn itself off at increments in 5 minutes. So you can choose 15-minute treatment, 20, 25, 30, whatever you want. If you happen to fall asleep, which is quite easy because it's quite soothing, there's not a problem. You won't wake up with the unit still on. Now, we recommend that you use the unit at least once a day, preferably twice a day. We say about 30 minutes treatment time. And you continue this for about 2 weeks. After this 2 weeks treatment of twice per day, you give yourself a week's break. And then after that week, you get into it again if you need to. The healing won't be fast necessarily. If you've got a chronic condition that you've had and suffered and tolerated for several years, it may take several months to resolve. Explaining the different power level intensities. The level 1 is 170 milliwatt total, level 2 is 340, and level 3 is just over half a watt in power. So it's quite a bit. Now you'll see on the picture on the right, a picture of the head. Most of the lasers are the 650 nanometer lasers. These are the red ones. This is the red you see when you turn the laser on. The 3 center ones are quite a bit more powerful. They're 10 times more powerful than the other units. They're the ones that do the deeper tissue repair. They are the 808 nanometer or the near infrared. Those lasers, you may see a ever so slight faint glow, but preferably you shouldn't see anything from any lasers because, of course, you should be wearing these. If you put these on, you can just see the little lights from the head, from the red, but you won't see any of these 3 more powerful lasers. But those 3 lasers that you can't see the light, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not actually working. And they're doing most of the work, actually. Okay. We do recommend when you first start doing treatment, using lower power levels. So maybe the first week in your 2-week treatment regime, you start on the low power level, and the second one you go to medium. Give yourself a week break, and then on the first of your second round of treatments, you start on your second level and go on your third level on your second week. Memory function. I've told you about this already. After you've set up the MiraMate joint aid how you like it, you don't need to set it up again. It remembers for next time. All you need to do is just turn it on and you're away. Charging instructions. Gosh, simple as anything. You just plug in the adapter and plug it into MiraMate joint aid. And you leave it alone to charge. There is a charge indication on the display. It'll be flashing while it's charging. For the first 3 times you charge joint aid, we recommend you charge it for over 10 hours. That ensures that you get the maximum life out of your battery. Just like your cell phone, all batteries have a lifetime, and we'd like to have your batteries last as long as possible. After you've done your 3 charges of 10 hours, you can just charge it for the normal amount of time, which is, I don't know, maybe an hour. That's one thing I didn't ask before the presentation, but it's not very long anyway. And the good thing is you can use it while it's charging. Please don't use a non-standard power adapter because it may cause damage to joint aid. Please use the adapter that's provided with the unit. Cautions: do not use it around the eyes or the thyroid. Well, you don't use it around your eyes because your eyes are very sensitive to light. Funnily enough, that's the primary function. But the lasers have got a coherent light source and they're focused. If you're not careful, it can cause damage to your retina. Now, the cold laser energy levels of the red lasers are such that they won't damage the eyes, but still we've got those 3 very powerful lasers in the center. And those lasers will not make the iris of your eye get smaller because your eye doesn't see the light. And so it's a very powerful amount of light that's directly hammering your retina. And so that almost certainly will or may very likely cause damage. Now, even the red light, laser light, because it's a coherent light, we recommend not to look at any of that light. Spooky has got some cold laser products, and we get the same warning: do not look directly into the laser light, even though it's a cold laser and this and that. Eyesight is very precious. You don't want to diminish your visual acuity. You want to retain what eyesight you have. So please do not ever look at cold lasers, even if other people say they are safe. If you wear these glasses, then you're protected from the laser light. It's best not to use it directly on your thyroid because your thyroid is like the king or queen of your organs. It pumps out the communications hormones that control your other organs. And the laser light stimulates your thyroid, which will directly affect the volume of hormones it produces and the proportion of hormones it produces. And it may cause your other organs to get out of balance. So don't shine it on your thyroid, which is here. There. Don't use it if you're pregnant, and don't use it if you suffer from malignant tumors or hemorrhagic diseases. Okay, this is where I'll try and play.
Hello friends, in this video I will show you how to use MiraMate joint aid. Don't worry, it's very simple and easy. First, long press on and off button to turn on MiraMate joint aid. You will hear the beep sound. Second, press mode button here to select mode. There are 2 adjustable modes: pulse output mode and continuous output mode. We recommend using continuous output mode for pain relief first, and then pulse output mode for long-term healing. I want to help with my pain in the knee, so I choose continuous output mode now. When you hear the beep sound, you could see the corresponding icon on the LCD screen light up here. Third, press time button here to adjust the duration. Each press will increase 5 minutes for your session. You can see the time changing here when you press the button. The duration is adjustable from 15 to 60 minutes. I use 30 minutes here. And last, press add or minus button to adjust the intensity of the laser output power. There are 3 levels of laser output intensity. They are 170 milliwatt, 340 milliwatt, and 510 milliwatt separately. Press add button to increase power intensity, and press minus button to decrease power intensity. We recommend starting with low power settings, so I use 170 milliwatt here. Now, put the glass on and short press on and off button. When you hear the beep sound, you could place the joint aid to your targeted area. Since I want to help with my knee, I place the laser side towards my knee. Now you can enjoy the magic of cold laser. If you want to pause your session, short press on and off button. When you hear a beep and see the time display stop there, the session is successfully paused. When the treatment finishes, the buzzer will beep. The LCD screen will return to the setting status, and laser lights will turn off. When you finish a session, long press on and off button to turn off the device. The buzzer will give a confirmation beep. The internal rechargeable battery can be used up to 4 hours continuously. Charge when the icon of battery on the LCD screen starts flashing. This ensures the normal battery lifespan. Insert this end into the device and plug the power adapter into the household socket for charging. The buzzer will beep twice, and the battery icon on the LCD screen will show that the device is charging. When the device is fully charged, the battery icon will display normally. MiraMate is very safe to use, but there is also something we should pay attention to. Don't use it around eyes or thyroid. Doctors and patients should use protective glasses to avoid direct eye exposure. In addition, don't use it on pregnant women and people who suffer from malignant tumors or hemorrhagic diseases. Thanks for watching this video.
Oh, gosh, isn't that professional? Yep. What can I say? Yeah, that explains the function of it. Yeah, it was great. Okay. Now we're going into the general Q&A section of this presentation. What is the effective penetration depth of this device? Well, the 808, which is the near-infrared light, can penetrate to a maximum of about 3.5 to 4 centimeters, which is around 1.5 inches. Now, the effective depth may be less. It depends on several things, which includes the wavelength, intensity of the beam, many issues, including, I guess, the color of the skin, because darker skin would tend to absorb the light. So the effective penetration less is more likely between 1 and 1.4 inches. And most of the lasers on the head are the 650 nanometer or red lasers, and they've got a penetration depth of 0.4 to 0.8 of an inch. So the treatment time for deeper tissue targets can be quite long. Why is it called cold laser? What do we mean cold? Well, it's not just us, it's lots of people that call it cold. It's called cold laser because the energy level of that laser is not sufficient to heat and cause damage to body tissue. It's low compared to other forms of laser therapy, such as those that are used to destroy tumors and coagulate tissue, and also used in cartoons. Those lasers are very powerful. How to clean the device. To clean the surface, just use some cotton wool soaked in neutral cleaning fluid. There can be a little bit of damp water, not wet, but just damp. So it's a little bit of water, maybe a tiny bit of soap, liquid soap. To clean the front section here, you can again use the same cotton wool with a bit of a slight dampness, but you can also use alcohol. This isn't gin or whiskey, though you might have some of that in your cupboard, because that will leave a residue. Proper cleaning alcohol. You can even dilute that cleaning alcohol with water, and just give that a gentle wipe, being careful not to put it on your over the display or over the buttons. Alcohol is good for the front because sometimes you can get oils from skin treatment products. It can rub onto the front of the laser unit, and so you may need to use a bit of alcohol. What type of diodes are used in this device? LEDs or real laser diodes? Wow, you know, there's a lot of people that sell laser products, and when you look carefully, you find out they're not lasers, but they're LEDs. And there's a really good reason for that. In fact, only one reason I can think of, and that's LEDs are cheaper to make. They're cheaper to buy, so they can make a cheaper product. But, well, we don't do that. We use real laser diodes rather than LEDs. There's 15 lasers in total, 3 powerful near-infrared and 12 lower power red lasers. Most other devices don't have both in combination. Most of them only have the red, because red lasers are cheaper than the near-infrared. And, you know, when people buy products, they like to see things working. And so the light that's coming from the near-infrared lasers, the 3 in the center, you can't actually see the light. Or if you can, it's a very, very dull light. And people may think, oh, this is nothing. This isn't doing any work. That's the way that people normally think. But our product's got both lasers. So actually, just an off topic, different wavelengths have different efficiencies for treating different conditions. And so because this unit's got 2 different wavelengths, it's more broad spectrum of what it can treat. You don't have to worry about using a different unit for treating ailment A or ailment B. You can use the same unit. Now, this is a question which I would want to ask as well if I was buying a product. And it's a question I've never answered. If I buy a phone and I ask, well, how long will it be before I've got to have the phone sent in for changing the battery? Because phones nowadays don't have batteries that can unclip. And so I ask, how long do the batteries last for? And they normally don't give an answer. And so I put this question in this Q&A so that we're upfront about it. How long do the batteries and the lasers last? Because the lasers themselves also have a lifetime. It's something which other people don't really talk about. Now, the internal batteries and the lasers can each last for more than 5 years under normal use. So that's quite a long time. It's a very long time. And then the question which you'd immediately instinctively ask after that, well, okay, after 5 years, what do we do? How do we replace the batteries and the lasers? Okay, well, to avoid unnecessary loss, please don't disassemble or repair the device by itself. It's a technique to disassemble the unit, and you need special tools. If you attempt to disassemble the unit, you may cause damage. Now, the internal batteries and lasers can be replaced for free if is as a result of quality problems under normal use within 1 year from purchase. It's the warranty. But the warranty doesn't cover the damage caused by disassembling. So we can help you to replace the batteries if you send the unit to us, and we'll replace both for you. Now, we do state the material and shipping costs will be charged as appropriate. I don't think it's in the SAMA, but I asked the other question, well, how much does it cost? Another thought which I'd want to know up front, because I mean, I wouldn't want to spend thousands of dollars on a product that just costs, you know, $313. And so the price of the battery is $40, and the price to replace all the laser heads, all 15 of them, is $60. So that's quite reasonable. You'd have to add the shipping costs to that. But this is 5 years down the track. What is the warranty policy? Well, the whole unit will be replaced or repaired for free in the case of quality problems under normal use within 1 year of purchasing. Now, we've got a Spooky 2 cold laser product. Why would I want to buy this if I already have Spooky 2 cold laser? Well, there's several reasons. The Spooky 2 cold wrist laser has only got 3 red lasers, whereas MiraMate joint aid has got 12. Even our cold laser twin has only got 2 7-milliwatt red lasers. Now the MiraMate the joint aid has also got those 3 near infrared lasers. It is more powerful, and it can target deeper tissue problem areas. Now the MiraMate joint aid has 2 working modes, 3 levels of power intensity, and adjustable time settings for various treatment requirements. These things Spooky 2 cold laser does not have. Now there's also the ease of use side as well. I don't know about you, but I'm a great fan of things I can hold in my hand and carry with me. I'm a nomadic person by nature. I'm very active. I just like the thought of something being battery powered, throw it into my bag and just use it. And this is ticking all those boxes. The Spooky 2 cold laser, of course, needs to be connected to a Spooky 2 generator. And the generator needs to be connected to a computer. So you might as well, you're stuck at home or stuck to your computer anyway. Now, MiraMate joint aid has got no wires, no need to be connected to anything. Battery is rechargeable, so don't need to worry about buying batteries all the time. They last 4 hours, so it's quite reasonable. It's fully portable, so you can take the unit and use it where you need it. Well, that's the end of the presentation. Now, there's been a Q&A, a question come up. Karen Hughes has asked, can this device be used by a person who has a pacemaker implant? Now, Karen, as you know, with most of our products, we do give a general blanket warning. You cannot use this device for people that have got electronics inside their body, pacemakers and others. Now, this is going to be one of the exceptions to the rule. Photons will not affect the electronics in your body. There's also the thing about the penetration where a pacemaker is quite deep inside your body. So, yes, this can be used safely if you have a pacemaker. If you've got metal implants, it's also safe. So that's a very good thing to know. Okay, any other questions come up? Okay, that's the Q&A question, so I'll flag that as being answered, and the chat. Okay, now, Karen, this was a comment from you in the chat. You must have given the Q&A question after I didn't answer your chat questions, but I can't see the chat or the Q&A whilst I'm doing the presentation. Now, this is a comment which you've given. Karen states, I'll quote it verbosely. I've used a lower power cold laser. The healing that took place in my body was remarkable. Head and neck pain was gone. A 50-year-old neck injury was healed, as well as a recent whiplash injury. A 50-year-old knee injury healed and bone regenerated. My hair is turning a darker brown and the grey is going away. My eyesight has improved. I no longer need readers. Well, contrary to what everyone is thinking right now, Karen is not a staff employee and we don't pay her any money for this. But it's very good to know, Karen, and thank you for that. It's true that cold laser therapy is a slow type of healing, but it's one of those things which can't be disputed, which is why FDA have decided to approve them. You can't argue things which are just in plain sight. And isn't it fantastic that an injury that you've suffered, you've tolerated for 50 years, gosh, has now been reduced and possibly eliminated. It's remarkable. I love hearing stories like that. Now, I'm assuming this cold laser unit that you were using wasn't our joint aid because we're just releasing it now. And you're saying it's a lower power unit. You don't need high power cold laser to have a healing effect. It's just a gentle heal that gentle introduction of energy, a gentle reduction of inflammation, small amounts of energy of oxygen being injected into and being introduced into your cells, and the toxins, of course, being removed easier because of the increased blood flow. It all takes time, but you will see this gradual improvement. Now, Carrie Greben asks, sounds like the joint aid may help with low mitochondria function over targeted areas. Yes, it will help with low mitochondria function. And it is accurate, that statement. What other devices have we developed that we would recommend that may help with our mitochondria function? Well, our MiraMate, our MiriMate MiriMate will also be another unit which is portable. You plug it into, you slot it onto your belt. It's battery powered, and you just walk around with that with the coils next to your body. That doesn't use photons of light. That uses a pulsed EMF, which also, it's like giving your cells a wake-up call, and it introduces energy into your mitochondria within your cells. And that also helps with your detoxification and your generalized healing. So it's very similar, I guess, in function to our joint aid, but it does it in a very different way. The joint aid is more focused. It's really designed more for joint issues, but you can certainly have it over flat areas of your skin if you wish. It's not recommended, by the way. I noticed that it wasn't in the presentation. It's not recommended to use any laser over cancer. The reason is the cold laser helps cells gives more energy for cells. And that's the very last thing you want to do directly over skin cancer or any subcutaneous cancer. So don't use it for that. Okay. The cold laser I used did not, this is further from Karen, did not penetrate as far into the skin. So you're looking forward to using the MiraMate joint aid. Yes, that's right. The lasers, even the spooky cold laser, it's only got a 5 milliwatt cold laser, 650 nanometer. The 650 nanometer hasn't got the penetration of the 808 nanometer. And so you will find that the joint aid is better for that. Okay, more questions. Okay, that's a repeat. Cree Grebenev was asking about what are the devices that we have that may help with the mitochondria function. So there's our MiriMate and also our bigger magic, which is our mat that you can sleep on, or you can wrap the mat around your body part. Okay. Charlie Blankard is asking me to define malignant tumor and hemorrhagic blood cautions. Now, one thing I haven't really touched on is the healing ability of cold laser for blood. If you use cold laser over an artery or a vein, the effects it has on your blood cells is quite pronounced. If you perform blood cell analysis and you look at the difference before and after cold laser treatment of your blood cells, you'll see that the blood cells are less clumped or not clumped at all, which means there's a greater surface area around the cells, and they're better able to assimilate oxygen and deliver the oxygen to your cells and carry the waste products back away from the cells. Now, you don't want to, a malignant tumor is a tumor that you do not want to introduce energy into the tumor. You don't want to basically wake it up and make it active again. And so this is why we give the warning of not using our cold laser over a malignant tumor. One that sort of, it's got the possibility of becoming active. And the hemorrhagic blood cautions are just where if you've got any blood condition that may have your blood unable to coagulate correctly, you may have excessive bleeding. You don't want your, you want to address that issue first before you apply a cold laser treatment to your blood. Okay. Bone marrow cancer, no surface tumor, safe to use. Okay, I'm not a doctor, so I cannot give direct advice. Because cold laser has been FDA approved, it's one of those treatments which I guess you will get a real answer from a doctor. And I do recommend you ask a trained medical practitioner for their advice on that question. I would personally state yes, it is, because the photons will not directly reach the tumor, or the cancer, I should say, but the ability of your blood to deliver the nutrients that your body needs to fight the cancer and to remove the toxins that are being produced by the cancer will be enhanced. So I'd say in that case, it will be safe to use. So I'll mark those questions as answered. Are there any other questions that people have on the MiraMate joint aid? I'd be very happy to answer them for you. We've had a Karen state how cold lasers helped her with a 50-year injury. And Karen, if you can say how long it took for that to resolve the problem, we appreciate it. And Carrie's asking, are you working on anything else? I'm not allowed to tell you. Well, the answer is yes, but I'm not allowed to tell you. And Karen has told me that it took her 6 months for cold laser to resolve her health problems. That's okay. She's had the problem for 50 years. You don't expect an overnight cure. It's part of the desire for people to see instant results. Why drugs got a foothold, because drugs are very fast acting, but of course they generally act on the symptoms. If you want to truly heal yourself properly, you've got to change the terrain of the condition, and that takes time. It also takes effort, because you may have to do dietary changes, lifestyle changes as well, to ensure the condition does not return. And Karen says that she's also had the help of a massage therapist using pressure release techniques. That's very good to know. Yes, it's good to use as many modalities as you can to to resolve problems. They can work hand in hand. They can work in a form of symbiosis and accelerate the recovery process. So that's all very good. I think there's another Q&A that's come up. Scar tissue, absolutely. Now, Charlie, if the scar is new, then it'll help reduce the amount of scarring and accelerate the sealing of your skin and the recovery of your skin. But once the scar has fully, closed up and it's been a few weeks in the process, the cold laser may help a little bit, but it'll be less of an effect. I'm going to have I was going to hold a coffee time actually to not talk about cold laser. I should, I guess, but what happened a few weeks ago, I cut myself on my thumb, and cold laser wasn't finished yet. But I've got a great fondness for honey, the healing qualities of honey, not so much the taste, but the taste is okay. But the healing qualities. Now, I cut myself to the bone. I was cutting a watermelon the wrong way, and the knife slipped and it cut into my thumb, and I could feel the solid thump as it hit the bone. It's a very, very sharp knife. And I planned to hold a coffee time, which is a morning casual talk about things in general, because it's not specifically spooky related or MiraMate related, it's honey related, and we don't make or sell honey. But honey is amazing. If you cut yourself and you immediately throw honey on your wound, that wound will heal extremely fast. Now, I'll preempt a little bit of this coffee time I was going to show. The cut is there. Now, can you see that? You probably can't see. Oops, there it is there. That is where I cut myself. That tiny little scratch there was an ever so deep scar. It was 5 stitches they put in there. After 2 days, it was funny. I cut myself, went to the hospital, they stitched it up. As soon as I got home, I threw honey on it and wrapped it up to keep the honey there. In 2 days, I removed the stitches myself. I didn't wait to go back to the hospital. I've not been back to the hospital. I don't like hospitals, by the way. But I didn't go back. In 2 days, I removed the stitches because the skin had healed. The scarring tissue had knitted together, and I could remove the stitches because there's no inflammation. And then after a week, the wound was pretty much fully healed. There's no reddening, no inflammation, nothing, because the honey did what honey does. No bugs can survive in honey. There's a zero oxygen environment in honey. Maybe we should sell honey, right? But we're not allowed to export honey. Our countries don't like to import honey, do they? So keep a jar of honey in your cupboard. If you cut yourself, throw the honey on. Don't even think about anything. Don't worry about the blood. Honey and blood is okay. You can mix together. Throw the honey on, wrap a bandage on, and forget about it for an hour. And then after an hour, you could open it up. You can then wash it with water and put a bandage on to sort of, if it's a deep cut, you want to keep the skin close together. But I'd still keep honey on. I was reapplying honey once a day. And you can thank me later. You can, yeah. My bank account is here. No, you'll see a big difference. There's no reddening around wounds, which you normally get. Okay, back into MiraMate. Okay, now Karen says, I ordered a joint aid today and there was a $30 coupon code available. Now what happens, Karen, for any purchases at the moment, you use the code and you get a $30 discount. Now if you inadvertently placed an order and you didn't mention the coupon, which happens because we're all human and it's Friday, don't worry about it. We'll just double charge you. No, don't worry about it. We'll just apply the coupon. You just send us an email. We'll sort it out for you. And Martha Everett states, I've used honey over dog wounds. It's hard to keep them from licking the honey. Yeah, that's a problem. But I didn't have the problem. I wasn't licking my honey off. Yeah. Honey is such a naturally healing. I love things that are natural, love things that can heal. And it's funny because the Romans used to use it in battle. When the soldiers were coming back with their limbs just half hanging off, they used to use honey. And then when drugs came along, all these things got forgotten. Don't forget these natural treatment methods, guys. And everyone's got honey in the cupboard, right? It doesn't have to be this $80 special honey, Manuka honey, or anything special. The honey I used was just normal honey. Normal as in it's been processed, it was heat treated. You can buy some better honey and get a better result, but it doesn't have to be the very expensive honey. You can buy the cheap stuff, get away with it. Okay, is there any other Q&As? Okay, no, I've answered that one about scar tissue. That got me on this diversion with honey, so sorry about that. In the coffee time, I'll show photos because I took photos of the doctor stitching myself up. It's a bit gory. It's got blood everywhere, so I'll give the warning beforehand. But it had a happy ending, and that's the main thing. Okay, well, that wraps up our presentation for MiraMate Joint Aid. Martha Everett has just thrown in a quick message. I'm thinking of ordering for the dog who is elderly. She's got joint inflammation and dragging her back foot. It's sad, isn't it? We've got our dog also showing signs of arthritis. She's starting to limp. Yeah, I can use my massage practice too. She's got tumors. Oh my goodness. But not diagnosed as malignant or not. I'm muscle testing and it'll be good for her. Good. Thank you for holding the session. You're welcome. Okay, Karen is asking, just to clarify, the neck and back pain was relieved immediately. The neck took longer. Well, with everything with cold laser, it's not immediate, it's faster. It's faster than other lower power cold laser treatment units. So it's not immediate, and it depends a lot on how long you've had it. If you've had a back pain for 2 weeks, it's going to take longer than if you've just had a pain in your back and you just want to treat it straight away. If you've just developed a back pain, then a 30-minute treatment may be enough. Oh, pardon me, a 30-minute treatment may be enough. But if you had it for longer, it may take longer to resolve. You know, one thing, people with back pain, chronic back pain will know this. Your body readjusts itself to accommodate your new spine position. Muscles become stronger in certain areas where they shouldn't really be stronger. Your muscles should be balanced. But if your back becomes curved, muscles become stronger in certain areas, and an attempt for the body to allow the back to maintain weight. But it may not be a straight back. So when your back becomes straightened through massage or other treatments, your other things need correcting as well, like the muscles, like your ligaments, your tendons all need to be corrected. Your the whole structure needs to be sorted out. And so cold laser will certainly help, but it takes time for your muscles to readjust. So don't expect immediate results. Don't tell me in the next summer, John, you said it's instant and it's not. It takes time. It takes time. But you will see results, for sure. Okay, and that's it. And Carrie, thank you for your well wishes. And it's been good. I'll pull the plug now and see you all next week in summer. I haven't been told what's happening next week on summer. It's a surprise for me as it will be for you. But we'll give out the introductions as soon as we know. No more questions, anybody? No more hands up? Hands up? No hands up? Okay. Okay, well, it's been wonderful having you all with me. It's been a very smooth summer. I'm very happy to have been able to succeed broadcasting live on Facebook. I love broadcasting on Facebook because there's so many people there. We can reach a far greater audience, people that haven't necessarily registered on Zoom. And just keep in mind, all those people watching this video on Facebook, if you do register on Zoom, it's easier to ask questions directly with the expert. Now, today it was only me, but normally we have someone who's better qualified, and I'm normally the person who's doing the sitting back, nodding their head and agreeing. We've had some fantastic experts on right from day one. It's been one long learning curve. And to watch them now, you know, and all the things I've learned, it makes me realize just how much we collectively as a society have lost. We've lost the ability to think for ourselves, and we've lost the knowledge on how to heal ourselves. Well, the good news is we haven't actually lost it. It's still retained in pockets of people around the world. And we, in Spooky Summer, we endeavour to bring these people together and in the Spooky Summer package, deliver it to everybody. And hopefully, you know, through the generations, this information won't be lost. Thank you for watching. I know that people that are watching are the kind of people that are caring, and you will use this information elsewhere. Thank you. And thank you for watching. Have a fantastic week. I'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.